said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic, cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
You know what you don't see much of? Catapults.
You don't, mate.
You know what I mean?
My son's got a catapult.
Mate, catapults are absolutely lethal.
I know, yeah.
Like, the damage we used to do with a catapult, mate, I'm telling you, like...
They're dangerous,
Like, as if, like, we used to do that for fun. Like, looking back, like, we could have killed somebody.
You're in areas where there's, like,
mate,
open fields and shit, yeah?
I can remember, mate, I had this friend at school, right, and he was a maniac. You know one of them kids who likes fires? He was that kid. Yeah. He was a lights everything on fire kid.
There's always one of those in the school, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, would you believe it? I became his best friend, right? So I saw a lot of fires.
I like fires.
And I remember he had a slingshot.
Yeah.
This is how you think of what could have happened here. And he had a rock, and I'm not joking you. The rock was as big as a big conker. Yeah. Right. So think of a conker, big.
It's killing someone. Yeah. If it lands on him. We
were in Darlington Marketplace, right, on a busy Saturday, the outdoor market, shoulder to shoulder, and he just went...
No way, up down. In the air?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Imagine what could have happened.
If it landed on someone, it would kill them?
Just by chance, it didn't.
Like, if it's gone high enough in the air, it'll come down quicker, because it'll reach that terminal velocity, the fastest.
This catapult, mate, was one of them naughty ones that would, like... They were going like 500
like
yards.
A military-grade catapult.
Literally, mate. It had like a metal handle. You know, one of them like thick,
holy shit,
real
man.
rope, thick rubber things. You could pull it back about that far. Literally the noise. Yeah, mate. I'm telling you. Yeah. I've seen some things, man. Yeah. Lucky.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was there.
How do you know? What if someone did get hurt?
Well, all I remember is him doing it because there was loads of people there, and everybody just put the head down and scattered. Like everyone just went off in different directions. And like, didn't he know? I don't know what happened. Didn't he know scream?
There wouldn't be a scream, mate.
But people next to him might
dead
have
on impact.
I know,
yeah, that's right. Like,
it would have been a commotion. I would have thought.
Oh, 100%.
Because that literally went right through you, I think.
Yeah.
I once nearly got hit with a golf ball. I remember this. Right, as a kid, I had a friend, and his dad liked golf. Right, so he used to take us down the field. We like kicked a football about. Really weird, and he would basically spend an hour or two with a golf ball and a tee, whacking it as high as he could, and then he'd walk to the other end
and whack it back. And
that was his thing. And we were just playing football. This would go on for hours.
Yeah.
And I remember this one time, that happened, and I was like walking towards his dad, but still quite a distance. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, his dad went, woof, right, and I didn't see anything, and all of a sudden, I just seen this white golf ball go, and like literally just like graze my ear, and I remember just being like stunned still.
Holy
like,
shit!
Ooh, like I could feel it go, like past my ear. Imagine what that would have done.
Wow, that would have hurt.
Yeah,
that would have. Been
I don't think
painful.
I'd have died, but I'd have been knocked clean out.
You could have.
Do you think?
It could kill you, a golf ball, easy, yeah. But probably not.
They're not that heavy, are they?
No.
You know what I mean? By then, it's...
They're hard, though.
Yeah, they're hard. You wouldn't want it, you know. You wouldn't want it, though.
No, it definitely wouldn't tickle.
No. You ever been hit with a golf ball, Southpaw?
Never even had a close call.
Mm-mm. So are we rolling, Southpaw?
We're rolling, boys.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure, Daniel.
Are we plugged in?
We're plugged in, Daniel.
So,
oh dear.
This is People Like Us, and what the audience doesn't know is this is the third attempt of this podcast. Do you know what? We do this for you because all was lost, wasn't it, Southpaw?
Everything.
All was lost.
Technical issues.
We recorded, what was it, 1:14 minutes, 1:10?
1:14 minutes, 1:08 minutes, 1:05 minutes.
Probably, like, I would, look, I'm not, like, bigging us up. They were, like, world-class podcast stats. Do you know what I mean? They were world-class.
Yeah.
And they were gone, and you know what? We were downhearted, we were downtrodden, like, we'd given up, we'd already talked about what we were having for tea, we were leaving, but you know what? For you listeners, we have sat back down again, and we're going to soldier on for you, right? That's what we're doing it for. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching People Like Us. Oh, it's not the end, it's the start. Welcome to People Like Us. Yeah. Welcome to People Like Us. Chris Muldowney's back in the house.
Another round of applause.
Yes, this is the third round of applause.
Time of asking.
Yeah,
Get up
man.
there. Cheers, lads.
So, right, so let's start off with a story.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a story, right?
Go on
A bit controversial, but I don't mind telling you.
I like controversy.
Yeah, I was probably close to being pedoed when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, true story, right? You know the same guy that used to light the fires?
Yeah.
He was around, like, this just made me think of it.
All right.
Across the road from him, there was a man, okay? I don't mind saying his name. I don't know his second name, but he was called Anthony.
Right.
That was his name. Anthony was a music teacher, okay? Not at our school, at a different school, right? We must have been about 12,
Right.
right? Like first year comprehensive school. And Anthony must have been mid-30s, right? This man. He had a wife. Anthony had a wife, but he had no children.
Okay.
And I remember coming to school one day and my friend had said, he told me about this neighbour. He literally lived, it was on a new estate. You know them new builds where roads aren't really roads, so you can like fall asleep in the road? It was like this little cul-de-sac. So when I say across the road, I mean, it was like basically a next door neighbour sort of thing. And he told me about this neighbour that lets him, or is teaching him to play the piano, right? And he told me he's a music teacher and I'm to come round. Now, over the course of about 6 months, me and this friend of mine would go to Anthony's house. And Anthony, being a music teacher, had a full-blown piano set up in his house, right? And in his, you know, to be fair to him, he did teach us the piano. He taught us different tunes. Obviously, no expert, but he taught us how to play the Beethoven thing. You know, like, and he was really good. He could play everything, and we'd sit and watch. Now,
So you learned to play the piano?
a little bit.
Did you?
A little bit. I mean, I was 12. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't now, but I remember. Yeah, we used to play stuff like little tunes, not professional, but like he teaches to do like a chord.
You knew the keys?
Yeah, we do a chord and dun 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 dun. Do you know, like he got us basics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anthony was like full blown like top draw.
Pianist.
He was like a classical pianist. So sometimes we just sit and he just play this beautiful like, I mean, real deep shit. You know, like it was a bit Beethoven-esque, but not Beethoven. But like this, he take you on journeys with this music. You know, like. And
Symphonies.
and he proper felt it, you know, like, and he'd be doing the whole, you know, like they do, where like they're rocking forward and they're going into it, you know, like he's on a journey and we're sitting there like mesmerized, right, by this guy. Anyway, after a while, like obviously he became like a friend. You know what I mean? He was like cool. Obviously, you think nearly every night we were going around this Anthony's house, right? Yeah. He'd cook us tea sometimes, like we sit at his table, him and his wife. So it seemed all right, right? And this one day, he gave us an offer to go to Wet and Wild.
Right.
Right? Yeah. So we went to Wet and Wild with Anthony, right? Now, my memory of this trip was absolutely sound. I don't remember any pedo stuff. I remember all kosher. I remember playing on the slides with like my friend and all this stuff. And I remember Anthony, for the most part, didn't come about with us in the water park. He sort of stayed in the pool and like snogged his missus, which I found really strange because he was quite old to be doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not talking an 18-year-old. He was like in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
And him and his missus, like, basically stayed in the pool, you know, where the wave pool was. He stayed in the wave pool and they just basically like snogged for like 3 hours or whatever they were
Didn't
doing.
you think you were allowed to do that in Wet and Wild?
Well, that went on. Anyway, long story short, the Anthony thing went on a bit longer, and then one day it came out in the paper that he'd lost his job in his school for being a pedo.
No way.
And he was named and shamed in the paper.
Was he?
Yeah, picture the lot. Needless to say, I wasn't allowed to go around Anthony's anymore. But I don't know, like, you know, where it was going, but he didn't seem like a pedo to me. Like, I don't remember him, you know, trying to touch us and out like that. Like, he just seemed like a nice guy, do you know? But he got done for something.
I mean, when you break it down, some 30-odd-year-old guy bringing two 12-year-olds into his house to teach them piano is a bit fruity. I wouldn't let Josh go around some 30-odd-year-old bloke's house and learn piano. I'd be like, he's a fucking head the ball. Stay away from him.
You know what it is? You can see how he's got the pass. He's a teacher by trade.
Yeah.
He's a comprehensive school teacher, right?
Yeah.
He lives across the road. And, like, he knew my friend's mum and
Teachers
dad.
prime suspects, though, mate.
Yeah, I know.
For that kind of behaviour.
Trippy, though. You ever been molested, Southpaw?
Fortunately not.
No? Yeah. Yeah, so potentially, I could have got molested by a fat music teacher.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
I never had anything like that.
No?
No.
Oh, you haven't lived.
The worst it got, one of our teachers used to put his hand down the back of his trousers, like, well, he thought nobody was watching, and then when he pull it out, he'd go,
Oh.
have a good sniff. That was about as... I felt molested after watching that. It's about as bad as it got for me.
You smell his bum crack?
Yeah. Filthy bastard.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Powell.
Mr. Powell.
Yeah.
Sure,
I'll
Mr. Powell.
name him shit. I doubt he's still with us, bless him.
Yeah. I know you think about that, like some of your like your favourite teachers from school that you remember, like you just remember them as who they are. Like, but they're probably all passed away now.
Yeah.
That's horrible, isn't it? Well, some of them I'm like, ha. You know, some. I remember one teacher, like, chew for you. Like, who's laughing now? You know? Stop. Hold up. Before we carry on, just a quick word from our sponsor. Do you have a business? Thinking about starting one? Dash, the bespoke web design and branding experts. When you have a business that needs a professional online presence, when your current website is starting to look a little outdated and tired, when you have an idea and want to see it brought to life online, that's where Dash can help. Dash create bespoke websites built around your business and its requirements, from exceptional e-commerce stores to sell your products online, to beautiful brochures showcasing who you are and what you do. The team at Dash will become an extension of your business. You'll be assigned a dedicated team who will help guide and advise from the initial design brief all the way to the website launch. Not only that, Dash provide full aftercare to carry out any changes, alterations or updates quickly and efficiently. It's like having your very own personal web development team 365 days a year. Dash understands that in today's world, the right online image, exposure and representation is the key to success. Book in a free, no obligation consultation with one of their experts today to see how Dash can make your online vision an online reality. Just visit www.dashmedia.co.uk or search Dash Media on Google to find out more. Dash, the bespoke website and branding experts. You know what? I'll give you a pedo story. So let's get straight into it because I am interested on views. I have a view, which I will share with you.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. Now, the millions watching around the world will probably say Anthony Joshua is going to win this fight straight up.
Yeah.
Right? He's a better fighter. He's got the most experience. Former champion. 2-time heavyweight champion. Is that right? Punches like a Mack truck. Yeah. A lot more polished than Daniel Dubois. 100%. It's all stacked in his favour.
Yeah.
Well, I think that Daniel Dubois is going to win the fight. And I think he's going to win on nothing more than pure fire. That young, youthful, disabled person power. Do you know what I mean?
Apparently I'm moving around in my seat too much. Daniel, I just had a warning from the producer.
Right, well, are we plugged in still?
We're plugged in.
Yeah, man.
So you're going Dubois?
I am, and I understand what I'm choosing. I understand. I know, like, look, me and you know boxing a little bit, right? Of course, everything about me says, well, Anthony Joshua should win this fight. I don't know, mate, and I don't know. I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling. Do you know what I see happening? I see the fight starting, right? This is how my brain sees it. I see the fight starts, it's round 1.
Yeah.
Daniel Dubois, nothing happens in round 1. But what happens is by 2 and 3, you actually get a visual where Daniel Dubois is chasing Anthony Joshua down. That's what I see happening. Because I just have a feeling he's going to steam, through lack of experience, maybe through naivete. I think he's just going to. That's the only way I think he can beat him. Because I think if he stays on the outside, he's going to lose every time, I think. Because that 1-2 from Joshua will put him to sleep, and he's just going to be a sitting duck. He doesn't move that much. Daniel Dubois is not a bobber and weaver. Like, you've seen him against the big, stupid Croatian fella. Like Hrgović. He was getting wallops. He just took him. And I think if he's got any, he's got 2 options. He either becomes a mover, which I don't think he will, or he plays to his strength, which is nut down and start swinging, which is how we beat Hrgović. Yeah. And I think the visual is going to be that after 2, 3, and 4, you're going to see a visual where Anthony Joshua is going back over, Daniel's coming forward, but I actually think there's going to be a moment where Daniel is going to hit the canvas, and I think he's going to go down, and people are going to think that's it, but I think he's going to survive. And I think as he's going to stay there 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then I think what you're going to probably see is I think Anthony Joshua is going to start second guessing himself. I think he's going to start thinking, this guy keeps coming because I think he's fitter than Anthony Joshua. I think he's got a better gas tank than Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, I would agree the gas tank. I wouldn't necessarily say he's fitter, but I think he's got better cardio.
And you know what I think is going to happen? I think Daniel Dubois is going to stop him. And I think Daniel Dubois is going to stop him after round 9 and onwards.
That's the only way Dubois wins, by stoppage.
Yeah, I don't think Joshua's going to go
You were
down.
saying what? After round 9, huh?
9 to 11, like 9, 10, 11, 12, something like that. And I think it's going to be one of them. The visual as it stops is, I think it's going to be one of them where Joshua's against the ropes of the corner and Daniel's just unloading and the ref goes, no, that's enough. And I think it's going to be like controversial. Joshua's going to be like, what are you talking about? And I think Daniel's going to win the fight that way.
It's a very specific...
Yeah, because I mean, you know what I mean?
Have you seen it? You had a dream about this?
Mate.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think there's a lot I like about Dubois lately. He seems to have grown as a man, doesn't he? Like matured because he's still young, 26 I think he is, so he's still young in heavyweight terms. Turned pro very young. But yeah, last couple of fights, Miller and Hrgovic, he's shown a side to himself where he can actually take a bit and then still come on and fight back. But no, I can't see him taking what Joshua's got, mate. Joshua's just too good, I'm afraid. The best heavyweight about apart from Usyk, who I think he still has a chance of beating if they ever fight again. But yeah, I don't see Joshua being in a position where he'd be second guessing himself against Dubois, mate. He's too well coached now. I doubt you'll ever see Joshua look lost in a ring ever again. You know, like he did against Usyk. He looked lost, like he didn't know what he was, didn't know what the plan was.
Well, he was outclassed.
Yeah, but he didn't look like he knew how to, or he didn't look like he knew what he was doing. Fair enough, Usyk's Usyk and he's doing what he's doing, but Joshua didn't seem to have his own, this is how I'm going to go about the fight. He was just sort of boxing Usyk's fight, basically. I don't think you'll see that again. I think whenever Joshua goes into a ring now, he's going to have a game plan to execute. What you're going to see now from Joshua is every time he tries to throw punches, he's trying to, that energy bar, trying to take stuff off it. He's not going to, sometimes he just put shots out and they're not trying to damage anyone. I don't think you'll ever see that from Joshua again. Every shot he throws, he's throwing them with that intention to hurt. You know what I mean? Not necessarily knock you out with every shot, but hurt you.
What makes you think that? What evidence have you
Just
got?
the 2 fights he's had with Davison. The Wallen fight, he looked very put together, like he knew exactly what his plan was. And let's be honest, Wallen didn't land a thing. And every time Joshua threw something, it was with the intention of hurting Wallen. And again, the same in the Ngannou fight. He didn't throw any wasteful punches. He wasn't throwing any punches that weren't thrown to hurt him.
For me, that Ngannou was that hiff in that Joshua fight. I don't even take that into consideration. I don't even look at that as like relative. I look at everything else. And when I look at everything else, he's all right, but like I definitely don't think it's a reincarnate. I think he's got some confidence because he's made somebody shit his pants, which is Wallen. And yes, the visuals of the Ngannou thing, obviously it's going to do a lot for your confidence. Ngannou's a dangerous, scary bloke. Like,
exactly,
he's a dangerous, scary bloke. And when you plant somebody to the floor like that, you're going to be feeling yourself. You're going to be thinking, "Whoa, fuck no, I'm, you know what I mean? I'm Hercules here."
Yeah.
I get that. And I think that could actually work against him. I think. I have a feeling that Anthony Joshua is going to get stopped, shockingly, late by Daniel Dubois.
I think Dubois gets sparked out inside 3 or 4 rounds, like flattened.
Really?
Yeah, starched.
I've heard it said online, and I disagree with it. Yeah. I disagree. I think there's Daniel Dubois is an interesting kid, isn't he? Like, he has that, like, young, youthful... He's almost like a man cub. He's like a boy in a man's body. Yeah. Like, that's what he seems like. I know he's not. I know he's a fully blown male, but he's got such, like, a childlike personality.
Yeah, that when he was having that do with Joshua, and he's like, who do you think you are? Yeah. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
He comes across, like, very childlike. I agree with you.
I almost feel like, because he's a little bit more simple than Joshua, he's like programmed now. He seems like he's been programmed, like somebody's put the right code in the back of him, and now he's programmed. I think he's going to come through hell and back. I think he's going to be I can see the new Daniel Dubois going the opposite way to that guy that kept getting stopped. Because he kept getting stopped and because that was part of his career, I think to stop Daniel Dubois now, you have to put him to sleep because I think he's going to keep getting up. He's going to have them voices in his head from his trainer, from his dad. You're like,
I think a lot of it is his dad.
Yeah.
Like, psychologically, he doesn't want to let his dad down, does he?
Yeah,
but if Joshua lands on your chin, it doesn't make a difference what your dad's saying, mate. I mean, for us, obviously, with Dubois, it'd be great for us, wouldn't it? Like, work and that, but I just can't see it, mate. I really can't. I think Joshua is way, way too good for him.
Right. Well, the fight's on what day?
21st of September.
21st of September. Where is it?
Wembley.
At Wembley.
Yeah.
Do you think that fight warrants a Wembley Stadium fight? I don't.
No, not really. The undercard isn't even that good either. I can't even remember who's on it.
I believe that booking and that fight was supposed to be undisputed Joshua Fury, wasn't it? But it didn't go right.
No.
So
Usyk again.
Usyk again.
Some boy Usyk in there. We haven't actually. I don't think we've ever talked about that result, have we? Fury Usyk.
No, I don't think we have. What did you see? What did you take away from that fight?
I thought Fury done a lot better than I was expecting him to.
Right.
I thought he was going to get outboxed, but for 6 or 7 rounds, I had him winning the fight.
Did you?
After 7, I had Fury 5-2 up.
Right.
And then in the 8th, Usyk landed that punch on his nose and does what he always does, turned up the gears and boom, 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 see you in a bit.
My visual was different to your visual.
Yeah, I think a lot of people seen that fight differently.
I did. I think he took a couple of rounds, but for me, like, and this might be wide on some people's eye, think Usyk took 9 rounds.
Yeah. I gave Usyk the first 2, and I gave Fury 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then Usyk, I gave everything else.
Yeah, and you know what? That wasn't the best Usyk. I've seen Usyk better than that. Usyk looks old. Now he's starting to age.
Never seen him walk straight forward in straight lines like that before.
Never
but maybe
seen
he
that.
just done that because that's the way he was going to deal with Fury. I don't think he'd do that with Joshua.
No. How old is Usyk now?
37, maybe 38.
Yeah. You can't help but think you think his style of fighting, it is an athletic style.
Yeah.
It's constantly moving, constantly throwing,
But
in, out.
You'd say Fury landed the best shots you've ever seen anyone land on Usyk, yeah? Uppercuts to the body, uppercuts to the head. You actually seen Usyk look hurt on a few occasions. Whoa, he's
He
hurt
pushed
him
him back a bit, yeah.
Hurt him. Actually wobbled him.
Don't know about wobbled him.
Oh, he did a couple of times.
I think he
mate.
woke him up a bit. I think he let him know he was there, but I wouldn't say
He wasn't on Queer Street, but
No.
he felt that.
For me, and I'm still going to say this. Even though we saw what we saw, if the best version of Tyson Fury turned up against the best version of Usyk, I think Tyson Fury wins. But I think that the guy that I saw in that ring that night looked about 40% of Tyson Fury.
Do you think?
Yeah, he's had it, in my opinion. I like him. I love him as a person. I think he's hilarious. But I look at the way his physique is now and the way he moves. I just think I don't think you'll ever see. I think it's downhill from here. I think he's done.
I actually think he might win the rematch.
Do you?
Never seen Fury come back from a defeat, so we don't know, but I just think he'll have a different mentality going into the rematch and he'll probably get the job done. It'll still be really close, but I fancy Fury to win that rematch.
Do you know what? I see it as a more decisive loss because I see the first fight when you think back to the lead up and stuff, right? In all those interviews and all that carrying on he did. I believe I won't look. No, we said it before. Fighters are fighters. They're not scared of each other, obviously. But I think he was scared of the possibility of losing. I think that's what he was scared of, and I think Usyk did put the fear of God into him in that respect, where he was as much as he was saying the opposite. Saying, no, he's a middleweight and this is this. I think he was incredibly
He knew exactly
aware.
how hard the fight was going to be.
He was incredibly aware that losing was an option.
But he was, like you say, he did posture a lot during the first 6 or 7 rounds, showing off. You know what I mean? A lot of posturing. And he doesn't usually, he's he can showboat now and again, but the way he was showboating against Usyk, I think that just proves that he knew he was up against someone top draw, and he's overplaying it to make himself look like he's in total maybe even trying to convince himself that he's in total control of what's going on in there. You know what I mean?
He was definitely trying to convince us anyway.
Yeah,
you know. But I didn't feel, even on the night, even live watching it, I wasn't falling for it. I was like, no, like when he was going to the ropes and doing this showboating thing, I was like, you just like he's just battered you. Like you haven't got a punch in. Like for me, he wasn't doing anything. The only reason that
in the 6th round, mate, he 100% hurt Usyk.
Yeah, like hit him a couple of times.
A couple.
Like the rest of the fight, he basically got peppered and walked down.
Yeah.
And he was showboating, and like normally you showboat when you've done something good. Like, but he was showboating when he'd done something bad.
After a bundle of punches that Usyk's just thrown, that some of them land, then Fury would be like
showboat.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm thinking, hang on,
carry on.
You've just been yucked. Like, how are you now? Like, you're not fooling anybody. No, you got beat. I think
it was a great fight, though. Well worthy of an undisputed. I thought.
Yeah, it was a good fight. Yeah, it was a good night. Really enjoyed it. And look, Tyson Fury, you know, in his defense, like he's still a warrior. He stayed up. He didn't go down. He was.
It's not many would have came back from that wobble he took in the 9th, is there?
He was peppered for about 30 seconds, wasn't he? Like one side of the ring, the other side of the ring.
30 seconds.
He stayed up-ish. Well, by the ropes. So he's tough man, real tough man. You know,
I'm not sure he'd have got up had he have actually hit the deck. You know what I mean? I don't think he'd have got back up. But
no,
ropes keep you up.
Yeah, time saved him there. Like just in time, that round ended.
Yeah,
you know, just in time. Fair enough. But I think he should be. You know, I think he did very well. He needn't walk away from that being embarrassed. No. Like you lost to like probably one of the best boxers ever in history, and you
have to put him in that category, don't you?
Yeah, and you didn't
top 5 all time.
Of course, he is top 5 all time. It's easy to dismiss him because he's not like popular, like you know, the like Muhammad Ali's and stuff. Like he doesn't have a lot of like wow.
It's his nationality, that though, isn't it?
Yeah, and he doesn't speak English, which you know not that well, so he hasn't got the star.
Never going to be a superstar, but
no.
As far as quality goes,
of course, yeah. Anybody that's got undisputed in them 2 weight divisions,
I know it's a phenomenal achievement. Like
yeah. And look, Usyk, I don't even think that was the best Usyk I've ever seen. I think Usyk looks 80% of what he was.
He definitely boxed better against Joshua than he did against Fury.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think they're both on the decline, but I think that Fury is more declined than him. And I think where they are now is they've both had the best days and they've both come down. But I think Fury's further down than Usyk's down, and it's now at this point in your life you're not really going to get any better. It's sort of how much of what you've got left you can hold on to, and I think due to lifestyle choices and due to how they live or have lived, I think that Usyk's going to be able to keep hold of more of him than he is. And I think with the best will in the world, I think Tyson will end up coming in overtrained, because you're right, he's a determined man and I think he will put the graft in, but I think he's going to turn up at that ring right in a worse position than he was in the first, because now he did get beat, right? And he knows he got beat, and he got beat quite convincingly, really. Like, it wasn't close.
I thought it was, mate. I genuinely think it was a couple of rounds to Usyk.
At the end of that fight, when that bell went, you knew he'd won that fight.
Yeah, I knew Usyk had won it, but not by a massive margin.
He knows he got beat, and he also knows he nearly got stopped. And I think he's going to be in another place where he knows he's just tried to give his life and soul to this training camp, and I think he's going to know that his body's breaking down. And I think he's going to be more doubtful. Well, I know he's going to be more doubtful the first time. He will have been more... There will have been a big... If you look at it in a percentage, right? In his head, Tyson might have thought, 90% I'm going to win this, but that 10% voice in his head, like, oh, fucking hell, he's good him, he could beat me. That won't be the same ratio the second time round. He won't have the 90% confidence.
I think that'd be a good thing for him. I think now he knows what he's up against, mate. It'll be easier for him to win the second fight than it would have been the first. Like you say, overconfidence, thinking he's the boy, but also now he's been in the ring with Usyk. I mean, when we first talked about it, we were wondering how's Usyk going to land? How's he going to be able to get into range to get his punches off? He did it for fun, didn't he? He was just landing at will. Mental, how he was landing that left hand. Now, Fury knows. You'll see a better version of Fury in the second fight. I don't see how you can't. Now he knows what he's up against.
Yeah, I think you'll see a slightly better performance. I think you'll see less showboating, more back to his basics of proper boxing. That behind his jab, jabbing
Like he
his
did
face
with
off.
Wilder in the second fight.
Yeah. Well, he walked him down in the second fight.
That's what I think he'll do with Usyk.
Do you think?
Yeah.
That's what that's his best chance, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm not a boxing coach, but
it is his best chance.
If I was him, what's your attribute? Weight, size, length. So how do you utilise them?
Jump on him.
Basically.
But we say that, and it obviously is quite hard to jump on Usyk, isn't it? Because
Yes.
nobody can do it. Dubois, Joshua, Chisora tried to jump on him.
And you know what as well? Like people always, I think we're all like deluded a little bit. I certainly have been thinking, oh, he's tiny. Usyk is not tiny.
6'3".
And he's built like
17
a
stone,
Yeah,
just
like,
about.
he is a full-blown heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he stood next to Tyson Fury, he looked smaller.
He's bigger than Mike Tyson.
Yeah, absolutely he is. Mike Tyson
Taller
was
and
5'10".
heavier. Yeah.
Like, you put him next to Andy Ruiz, he's probably bigger than Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, heavier than Wilder. Heavier
Yeah.
than Wilder at his optimal weight. It's about 215 pounds.
Yeah.
Usyk's coming in at 225, 230.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's a full-blown heavyweight. And
he's a master.
And he's a master, and he's got it all.
Yeah.
He's got the fitness, he's got the skills, he's got the footwork, he's got enough power to wake you up.
The heart.
He's got the heart, he's got
Like,
the country
what a
behind
man
him.
he is.
You're not beating him.
He's exceptional, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, he's exceptional.
Fury did have some success, though, when he was walking him on. Like, Usyk was trying to... Because Usyk was dead aggressive during the fight and
Really aggressive.
leading him on, making him miss, and then throwing that uppercut, and that could be a way for him, but Usyk's dead good at making adjustments and sussing out what you're doing, so you can't do it anymore, you know what I mean? It's one of them, but yeah, I really hope Fury beats him this second time. I don't want him to go undefeated. It knocks me.
Does it?
Yeah, it annoys me. When people retire unbeaten, I feel like, particularly with Usyk, I will feel like he hasn't fought enough heavyweights.
Well, in his defence, he's only been a heavyweight a few years, so he can only fight. And he's, to be fair, in the short time he's been in the heavyweight,
6 years he's been heavyweight now, mate.
he's been more active than basically half the heavyweight division. Like, he's jumped in and he's fought. He's had some fights. You know what I mean? He fought. Oh no, Tony Bellew was at Cruiser. Then he fought Derek Chisora.
No, he fought some other guy first, didn't he? Forrest.
Yeah.
He fought Forrest, Chisora, then he fought Joshua twice, then he fought Dubois, and then he fought Fury. So he's had
Like,
6 fights.
I put it to you, sir.
I mean, the good opposition he's fought, 2 Joshuas, a Fury, and a Dubois, good level.
I put it to you, sir. He has the best resume in the heavyweight division. I put it to you, sir. Do you know what I mean?
Not if you look at depth, but opposition beat. Yeah, he's got the best wins in the division, 100%.
So I mean, just going back to that statement, like, if you retired undefeated, I think, oh, you haven't fought enough people. Like, do you know what? Like, I'm actually against. Much people probably wouldn't agree with this, but I don't agree with the older fighters fighting the younger fighters because it's the different generation. I know I listen to Hatman a lot online, and he wants them to fight. He wants them to like fight as like the passing of the torch.
If a young fighter makes the way into a position where they've earned a shot, they should get the shot. But
fair dues.
You're not going to go, if you're Joshua, you're not going to go and fight a Moses Atoma who hasn't got to that level yet. You have to get to that level. Dubois is a young fighter in comparison to Joshua. It's like 8-9 year difference in age.
Yeah.
So yeah, Joshua will fight anyone though, won't he? So proven.
What are your thoughts on Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson?
Not interested.
Shocking, mate. Absolutely shocking.
Clown show.
Wanting to fight a nearly 60-odd-year-old man. Absolute joke.
Yeah, clown show.
What if he hurts him? You know what I mean? What if he does some damage to Mike Tyson? What's he going to...
Well, he is going to damage his reputation because obviously he's going to win. Like,
Yeah, but any boxing fan would look at it and say, you're fighting an old man. That's not Mike Tyson.
no, it's not Mike Tyson. And I think Jake Paul will know that, that the real Mike Tyson would kill him.
Oh, yeah. I reckon there'll be a secret handshake in that where we're not going 100% in this.
No.
It's a money grab, isn't it?
Of course it's a
He just fought at the weekend, didn't he, and beat that UFC fighter.
Mike Perry.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No, I just seen the highlights on YouTube. Knocked him out.
Yeah. Jake Paul, I think he
can fight a bit.
He can fight a
I
bit,
wouldn't
yeah.
get in the ring with a beast.
No, he's all right. Like when he was against that Tommy Fury, yeah, he lost, but he didn't lose by loads.
No, he didn't look completely out of his depth, which he should have done, really. Tommy Fury's been boxing his entire life.
Yeah.
And he let some YouTuber who's came into the game 2 or 3 years ago, go the distance with him.
And
Barely landed a glove.
Isn't he quite young? Jake Paul?
No, I think he's probably about 28.
Is he?
Yeah, something like
I
that.
think he's still young enough to like give it a run.
Yeah, he's 27.
Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
in the
Like,
professional game,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to, mate. He's out there making dollars, and he doesn't care about making it in boxing.
No,
All
he
he wants
doesn't.
is a Canelo fight. That's what he wants.
I mean, like,
You know what I mean?
like Canelo, like that won't. No, even though Canelo's smaller, like no.
Yeah, that's the whole reason he's came into boxing. He wants that big monster payday. You know
With
what I mean? And
Canelo.
he won't fight serious competition.
No,
Because even Tommy Fury is not like a serious boxer, is he?
he's,
like,
he's an amateur,
part-time.
basically. Yeah, yeah, he's a celebrity. Really.
yeah, that's
that
what
can
he
box
is. Yeah,
a bit.
a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I like. Do you know what I like? Sounds like I've said the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul thing. I'm like dismissing it as if it's rubbish. I like what Jake Paul's doing.
Yeah,
I like what he's doing. Why not?
I don't mind it.
As long as it's
I'm just
categori-
not going to pay for it. You know what I mean?
As long as it's categorized, like don't try and like fool me and tell me that this is boxing. It's not boxing. Like boxing is the professional boxers in the pursuit of these belts in these divisions. Like that for me is proper boxing.
Yeah.
What he's doing, yes, he's got boxing gloves on and they're having a fight under Queensberry rules. I get it, but I think it should be classed as something
The
different.
WBA are going to give him a world title shot
Right?
against Chavez Jr.
What is he the world title?
No, I
holder?
think it's vacant, and they're just going to.
Well, that doesn't make sense. He hasn't fought anybody in the top.
I don't even think that Chavez has fought in, well, it's been a while. I think he's been rumoured to have fought Jake Paul in the past, but it didn't happen. But yeah, the WBA president, he's from some South American guy, said, yeah, we'd be happy to make that fight for the regular belt. They've got two, the WBA, they've got the super belt and then the regular belt, and they're going to put the
Which
the
one?
regular belt on.
The regular, the real thing.
No, the regular is the one beneath the super.
Right.
So with WBA, you can be a regular champion or a super champion, and the super champion's the one that Joshua had, the one that Usyk's got,
I've got you.
and then they've got the regular belt. That Manuel Char's the WBA regular champion in the heavyweight division.
Have you ever seen him fight?
No,
I know.
he's been holding that belt hostage for about 10 years. He's had one fight. It's
How
mental.
does he keep hold of it?
I've no idea. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Because
It's
normally
really
talk about
strange.
money, right?
Yeah.
But he can't be making any money for the sanctioning body.
Yeah, because
he's
it's
not
the
fighting.
sanctioning fee that makes them the money, isn't it? Every time they sanction a fight, you have to pay them, and if you're not fighting, they don't get no sanctioning fee. But I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
No, I'm sure there's something. He's got something where it's legal.
Right.
They can't take it off him for something. I don't know. But
I mean, man,
he's a complete waste of space, that chap.
he must be.
All he does is come out and call Joshua and Fury out in it, never fights. What do you
never
mean? You're not
fights.
getting them fights, mate.
How old's he now? Knocking on.
Oh, he'd be getting towards 40, him, Char. I wouldn't be surprised if he is 40 plus.
Looks good though.
He does look very well,
He's
yeah.
very well, yeah, he's juiced to the gills, isn't he? Like,
100%,
When you
mate.
see them sorts of bodies,
He's
you're
like
like,
natural, him.
No. He looks like a bodybuilder. doesn't he?
Yeah.
Have we got any
he's
more
ripped
fights
shreds.
going on, Christoph?
We've got Terence Crawford versus Madrimov.
I think Madrimov's going to win.
Yeah,
Yeah, straight up.
that's a big call, that one, mate.
Yeah, it is. I think this is the night.
It's very hard to go against Terence Crawford. He's
is.
probably the most skillful, alongside Usyk, the most skillful boxer that's active today. So I can see ways where Madrimov wins because he's a big puncher and he's natural at 154. Crawford's moving up in weight, but I still can't back against Crawford. He's just that good, isn't he? See what he done to Spence, dear me. Spence was
never
the
watched
bigger
it.
guy. I just got back from holiday the night that it was on, so I got back into the house at like 3-4 in the morning.
Oh, right, yeah.
And the boxing was about to start, so we watched it. And Crawford took him apart.
Did
mate.
he really take him apart? Was it a
Annihilated
whitewash?
him. Oh, mate. Spence looked shit. Spence looked terrible, slow, cumbersome. Like,
Just didn't know what to do.
he was completely and utterly outclassed, mate. Wasn't even a close fight. Should have been stopped way earlier. Got stopped, I think, in the 9th. Could have been stopped after 5 or 6. He was getting a battering, mate.
What date is
That's
Crawford?
1st of August or the 2nd of August.
1st of August, 2nd of
Yeah,
August.
it's the
Not this
third-
Saturday, the Saturday after.
3rd of August, yeah.
Right.
that's it, yeah.
So this show will come out after that fight.
Yeah.
Probably. And then you've got Miller versus our favourite, Ruiz, on there as well.
What, on the same night?
Yeah, on the undercard.
I mean,
There's a few other good fights on there, but you probably won't know the arcs of the smaller weights, you know what I mean? But that should be a decent little ding-dong, Ruiz versus Miller. Entertaining while it lasts.
yeah, I mean, it'd be 12 round unanimous decision to Andy Ruiz, won't it? That's
I
what it'll
think
be.
Ruiz will stop him, me.
No, I don't.
don't you?
No, definitely not. He's too big. I think he's made a mistake there, Jerry Miller. I'm not a big Jerry Miller fan. I think he's made a mistake. I get the Dubois thing with the big payday and all that. I get it. But
This is another big payday. This is the Saudis again.
Is it the Saudis again?
Yeah, they're
Right.
doing the Saudis. They're doing the one in London,
Right.
Joshua one, and they're also doing one in Los Angeles,
Right.
which is the Crawford one. So there'll be a massive payday there for him.
Right, fair enough then. But yeah, I mean, look, yeah, it's money, isn't it?
My understanding is with the Saudis, they don't give you options. Do you want that fight? Yes or no? If you say no, they look for someone else.
They decide.
The Saudis decide who you're fighting.
I love what they're doing. It is just like fantasy football. It's like fantasy league, and they just
Well, they're on about setting a league up, aren't they?
really.
That's going to be the next move, the Saudi boxing league, yeah.
So how would that work?
20 of the best boxers from every division come and fight each other in this league.
Obviously, sticking to weight classes though, yeah.
Weight classes, but
Yeah.
no, they're trying to get rid of the boxing organisations, aren't they? They want rid of them. Like the IBF and the WBO, they're just like causing loads of problems, giving mandatories out while this Saudi guy's trying to make the best fights.
Yeah.
And I think he's just got sick of that side of things and wants to get rid of them and basically make them null and void and come and, like the Saudis have set up the cricket, they've set up the football,
Yeah.
and all the best players are going over to Saudi for all the money. It's not a good league, but they're going over for the dollar, and that could happen with boxers. In fact, boxers would be the prime suspects to
Pretty
go and
much.
fight for the money.
Yeah.
You're offering me that versus the IBF who are charging me money to
Yeah.
fight under their banner.
Yeah, you think the Saudis could literally lock it off. They could just take over the entire thing and run it.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they want to do that. They just want to take the best of the division,
Hmm.
and then the rest can.
It's strange they haven't made their own app, like a DAZN app, like they haven't, I don't know, Saudi app or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't done that and took the viewing, everything. You know what I mean? Made a subscription model. Do you know what I mean? They could. They've got the money to.
Yeah, I mean, if they were going to do that, they'd probably just buy out someone like the Zone, wouldn't they? Rather than
guess
going
so.
through all the rigmarole of trying to get that off the ground.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, that DAZN thing, loads of people are signing with them, right? I've heard. Frank Warren's signing with them.
He's denied it, but
Has he?
yeah.
I've heard him.
But he
and
has to deny it. He's under contract with
TNT.
BT at the moment.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, rumours tend to be close to the money, so they might be in talks about, because his deal runs out next year with TNT. So
with the Crawford and Madrimov, am I saying that right?
Madrimov, yeah.
With the Crawford and Madrimov, whatever. Who do you think is going to win?
I think Crawford wins by stoppage.
Do you?
Yeah.
Late, early, middle?
Probably after 8. Between 8 and 12, he gets a stoppage. But
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I've seen Madrimov fight twice, and he's epic, and he's got an absolutely outstanding amateur pedigree as well. So could go the other way.
Bigger and all, isn't he?
Yeah, well, naturally, but Crawford's taller. Maybe Crawford's just wanted because of his body type. He can be slim, but he can also be big. Not like Mayweather started at feather, I think, and went all the way up to light
Did he
middle.
really?
Yeah, he's like 5 weight. Pacquiao's another example of it, isn't he? Started at, I think Pacquiao might have even started at bantamweight all the way through to light middle. So he
Yeah.
went from 124 to 154. What's 30 pounds in stone? It's a couple of stone, isn't it?
Literally. Is that about 8 divisions?
Yeah, I think he's 7 or
7.
8 division world champion, Pacquiao, yeah.
I mean, Pacquiao was I'm not putting no claims out, but he was obviously juiced to the gills, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like-
You listen to Paulie Malignaggi, 100% he's juiced off his mind, but
That's what I think.
because they all say you don't carry your power like that through the divisions if you're going up. You don't. But Pacquiao got more powerful the higher he went in the division.
Literally. And more fitter.
Yeah.
You're still bouncing about 30 pounds heavier.
Do you know what they should do?
What?
Just let everyone do drugs.
100%. 100%. Or at least, I think they are. Well, they're doing it with the Olympics and stuff, aren't they? They're doing like a
They're on
drugs
about
Olympics.
doing an Olympics where it's not the actual Olympics. They're
No.
making an Olympics where you can do whatever you want
Yeah.
with steroids and
Yeah,
all
it's
that.
called
carry on.
the Enhanced Games.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they should. If put it this way, right? If you ban something and there's people doing it and then they're getting away with it, sometimes they've got an unfair advantage. So you might as well just say, well, if everyone's doing it, no one's at an unfair advantage, are they?
They'll
You know what
never
I mean?
do-
If everyone's got access to the same
You know what?
performance-enhancing drugs, then
It will never work with combat sports because
people start dying.
there's
It's
too much online. It's all right. Listen, when you've got 100-meter sprinters and you're trying to catch them, isn't nobody dying? Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? When you've got a combat sport, you have to, because you can die without being juiced. You know what I mean? It's just dangerous. So they'll never allow it, and they'll always make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
Because it is, you are messing with people's life.
Yeah, you are.
Know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, but look, I've heard on the grapevine, I don't know any boxers, but I have heard that like 3/4 of them are taking it anywhere.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, to be
They're
honest.
all on those medical exemptions as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have got that. And then they've got the masking agents now, haven't they? Where if you got your cycle right in between fights, you can get yourself juiced out of your mind to a point where then you come off it, and by the time the testing starts, you've got your masking agent in and you don't get caught. So yeah, it's rife. Guaranteed it's rife.
Yeah.
He popped, didn't he, Hellenius, after
Did
the
he?
Joshua fight. Yeah.
Imagine that.
Got ironed out and still popped for peds.
He was
Some boy.
absolutely
He's been
useless.
banned for 2 years, so he'll never fight again.
No, it's done in it. He was absolutely
Useless pudding anyway,
He was
anytime.
absolutely useless, him, like proper useless.
Double useless.
Double useless, mate. Big Finlandish useless person. Honest, that shocked me. That like how bad he was, and I love the fact that you gave Joshua the praise for sparking him out.
Too
Like,
right,
do you know
mate.
how useless Robert Eleni is?
Try to get him out of there, mate. Got 30 odd wins on his record, but yeah, he's not the best.
No,
He's all right though.
yeah, he's all right. Though.
Another fight you've got coming up on September 14th is Canelo versus Edgar
Berlanga.
Yeah.
Right.
Canelo fights aren't worth talking about half the time, mate.
No.
It's just a guaranteed outcome. It's always going to be Canelo win on points.
Yeah,
Every single fight.
like the fight's there what he should be taking, and he's not taking it.
Yeah, there's the two fights of Benavidez and Morel.
Like the visuals on Canelo. I know Canelo. Look, no bad thing to Canelo. He has done some stuff. You know.
Oh
like
yeah, his resume is fantastic.
But we're just talking about like what have you done for me lately? Like right now, like
Yeah.
he's not even worth talking about because he's just not doing what a champion should be doing.
Benavidez is the one he should be fighting.
That's the one.
And then it should be Morel after that, but he won't fight either.
He won't fight Benavidez because Benavidez will beat him.
So will Morel, mate. Have you seen Morel? He's fighting on that card on Saturday.
I haven't watched a lot of Morel, like.
He's mint, mate. Cuban.
Is he good?
Outstanding, mate. Yeah, he's like top draw.
Yeah, he'll be a good slick boxer, is he? But not a knockout
He's
person.
moving up the light heavyweight. No, he can stop. Yeah,
Can he?
he's got the power as well, mate. Yeah.
At Benavidez, I watched like a highlight thing. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
he's
admit,
good,
right,
him.
I kept hearing all this like pipe up about David Benavidez, and I thought I've never actually seen him fight. So I literally spent just 10 minutes just going through like clips of him thingy. He is savage, him. Like he
mint.
punches like he's trying to KILL
And
them.
he's fast as well, and his combinations are mint. He throws
mean.
shots from all over the place, doesn't he?
Mean him like.
Yeah, he is. Really
very
good.
mean. I'd fancy him to beat Canelo like.
Yeah, I don't think Canelo will fight him.
No, that'll never happen.
Sidestep that one. They're on about Crawford Canelo next, aren't they? That's what the Saudi guy wants to make.
Yeah, I can see Canelo taking that because
If he's offered enough money, he'll take it.
Yeah, he's got the huge advantage of size, So all he's got to do is be half decent and a lot bigger, and he'll win.
There's a lot that Crawford's got advantageous wise. I think going into that, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford beats Canelo.
Isn't Crawford knocking on as well?
Crawford's 38.
And Canelo's not that,
There or thereabouts, 36, 37.
is he?
Yeah, he must be.
I thought Canelo was still like early 30s.
No, he can't be, can he?
How old is
So
Canelo?
Crawford's 36
Oh,
Oh, he's younger than I thought then.
and Canelo's 34.
Not a massive gap in it, but Crawford's a better fighter than Canelo, mate.
yes,
Quicker than Canelo.
yes.
Styles make fights, mate. I wouldn't be surprised, me. I really would not write Crawford off in that. In fact, if he were going to have a flutter, that would be the one to put money on because Crawford will be long. The
Do
odds
you
will
think?
Be,
I
the
think we'll
odds
go
will
off
be long on
even.
that.
I think
Do
we'll
ya?
I think the odds on that will be even. I think it'll be very close.
You'll get good odds on Dubois to beat Joshua. If you
That's
think
why
if
I'm
you're
gonna
going to
have
put
a
a
go.
bet on that, you will get good
It won't
odds.
be loads. 2.5 to 1, 3 to 1. It won't be massive. You won't get huge odds. There never is in boxing. There's
Yeah.
never huge odds.
Yeah, if it's competitive.
Yeah, and that's what puts you off betting on that because it's like at best you get double your money.
You need to do an accumulator to win money on boxing, don't you?
Yeah, or have balls of steel and do like what Drake does, puts like a million.
Million.
You know what I mean? To double it just for the thrill.
Yeah.
I know.
You
Yeah.
see that one where he does the roulette spin
No.
and his wing comes up on the screen? They just sat there playing online roulette and a spin comes in, it lands on his number. You won $4.8 million.
Who did that?
Drake.
No way.
Yeah, man.
He won 4.8 on a spin.
Yeah.
He wins a lot more than that though. That's I don't even think he bats an eyelid.
Yeah,
at
but do you know how much
4.8.
money you'd have to have on a number?
I know, yeah.
A
No.
roulette number to get 4.8 million back.
I think his
The odds are 36 to 1.
No, I think his-
divide 4.8 million by 36. You thought he's got hundreds of thousands of pounds on that.
Literally.
Number.
hundreds.
I've actually watched some of these streams, and sometimes his bet is 999,000,
Yeah.
and then I think his other bet's like 335,000.
But there's a thing with Drake, isn't there, that every bet he puts on he loses because he curses all the sports teams and sports people, doesn't he? Whoever he picks to win always gets beat.
Does he?
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a thing going about
Yeah,
it.
I've seen that. He's bet on Jake Paul and all the other lot, and they've always lost.
Everyone,
Yeah.
like literally everyone he ever meets. Met Joshua before the Usyk fight and we were like, oh shit, you done there, just stay away from Drake, boss.
Yeah, David A used to do that as well, didn't he?
What's that?
Every prediction he picks.
Oh, he's always wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause he makes emotional predictions here. It's
Yeah,
like
he
he's
does.
always backing the person that he always goes against the person he doesn't like. Like every Fury fight, he picks the person the
Yeah.
person that's fighting Fury.
Except when he fought Usyk and he picked Fury. And Usyk beat him. So funny.
He's shocking.
Yeah.
he
He's
is.
got a good record of getting it wrong. Like,
Everything, yeah.
really, really
Terrible.
good. Yeah, so that does it. That's all the fights, isn't it, that's coming up?
Yeah, you've got Chisora Joyce at the weekend,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is a shit show, really. Both of them should probably be retired, but I wouldn't mind seeing Chisora come away with a knockout there. Joe Joyce is shit, isn't he?
Oh, I'd love Chisora to get him.
Yeah.
I'd love that, but I don't think he will.
No, I don't either.
I'm actually a bit like, I don't know whether that should have been allowed to happen, that fight.
I mean, you can't tell Chisora what to do, can you? See what Chisora done with that Deliveroo driver the other day?
No. What did he do?
He stuck the nut on him in front of everyone on the street.
No
so
way.
they were all out on the street, Chisora's neck of the woods.
Right.
They're all sat at tables eating picnic or whatever. Maybe they're outside a restaurant. I don't know. Anyway, this Deliveroo driver's going past and there's loads of kids and this, that and the other, and he's riding on the pavement. Chisora doesn't like it and stops him. And they're having this argument. Chisora's got hold of the scruff of his neck. And the only thing I can think is this Deliveroo driver did not know who the fuck he was talking to.
Right.
Didn't understand that this was Derek Chisora. And he's like, get your fucking hands off me, this, that and the other, pointing at Chisora. Chisora got all the channels and boom!
No way.
Yeah, this guy just crumples to the deck, man. Like, fuck me, that must have hurt.
So what he must have got in trouble for this?
Nah,
No.
nah.
I mean, that's literally straight up assault. You got prison for that.
That's, I'll give you 50 grand to not go to the police.
Right. Yeah.
Mum's
Yeah.
the word, lost me temper there. It's 50 G's. Fuck up.
Dangerous game.
Have you seen it, Courtesy?
Yeah, it's in Manchester, isn't it?
I don't know where it was, to
So
be
I'm pretty
honest.
sure it's my old stomping grounds when it was in the northern quarter, I think. And
Was he?
I've drank outside that bar and I
Right.
saw him there. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
And he just literally grabs this small.
Oh, mate, it's
small,
a brutal
yeah, it was
headbutt. You know
awful.
where you pull someone into you? Boom!
Really?
Like, smash his face across.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He obviously didn't know he was getting recorded, right? It was like a...
There was a, like
Far
6 or 7
out.
tables further down, the guy's recording it. So it's not like a close-up of what's happening. It's quite like from a distance. But
Right.
yeah, he probably just didn't even think.
No, I didn't think.
Chisora's one of those, and he once his switch goes, it's like, oh, get the fuck out of the way,
He-
Derek. He's off his barnet.
I will be sorry to see Derek go.
100%, mate,
But he's
yeah.
what a character. But I don't know. I think, just get to a point where...
I think if he takes a bit too much in this one, it will be his last. But he has came out and said, this will not be my last regardless. I'm having 2 more fights after this. So
He wants to watch it.
he's got every right to choose when he retires, doesn't he?
I don't know,
the end of the day.
because some people need saving from themselves, and I think they should revoke his license. That's what I think.
Yeah, they can only do that on medical grounds, though. And if
And I-
there's nothing wrong with him medically, they can't just take his license off him. He could soon get licensed elsewhere as well. All you have to do is fuck off to America or wherever,
Yeah,
get a boxing license.
Yeah, you can do that, I suppose. I don't know. I like Derek Chisora a lot.
And if you talk about like the likes of George Foreman, oldest ever. In fact, I think there's an older champion. Hopkins is the oldest ever boxing champion,
49.
46 or so 49 was
I
it?
think so.
But George Foreman, he looked like an old man in his 40s.
Yeah.
He looked like a granddad getting into the ring. They still let him fight. Chisora still looks like a
Yeah.
naughty, dangerous man. You know what I mean? You wouldn't fuck with him, would you? But
No, I guess not. Yeah, they're not taking no license off him.
and at the end of the day, mate, it's also his livelihood. It's how he makes a living. And just to take that away from him when he's not ready to give it up. I understand some boxers do need saving from themselves, but I don't think Chisora's
Do you know?
I don't think he's punch drunk or anything like that, man. No.
I don't know. You know, I think he's a little bit bizarre.
Oh, he always has been though, mate. He was bizarre when he was fighting the Klitschko's of the world. You know what I mean? That was before he'd even fought Fury.
He gets hit a lot, Derek. You know, his fighting
He's
style.
been in a few wars, like, but
Yeah.
he's one of those guys who just seems to be able to absorb it. You know what I mean? Like, look, the Takam fight's a prime example of him just being able to take punishment.
Yeah.
He's like
That was my favourite
one
Derek
of those
moment.
thick people with thick heads, thick skulls. You know what I mean? That it's although it looks like he's taking a vicious beating. I don't think it's.
And I think that particular fight, I mean, again, by the time this comes out, it's said and done. So something different might have happened. But if what I think is going to happen happens, which is for about 7, 8, 9 rounds, Derek gets, methodically beat up until in the end somebody stops it because it's getting a bit ugly.
The only thing with it is that Chisora does have a Joyce is slow and he doesn't move his head. He's easy to hit. And if Chisora can land something big on him, he's proven now that Joyce's chin isn't what we thought it was. He's not.
And he doesn't move
He's not
much.
the Terminator, is he?
Yeah, that's why I'm not counting Derek out. But I think if now it's happened by round 6, I think he's out. Do you know what I mean? I don't think Derek's got 12 rounds in him.
If it's one of those where Joyce can keep him under the end of the 1-2 and like Chisora can't get into range, yeah, I think he should probably consider calling it a day.
Yeah. Look, I'm a big Derek Chisora fan, and he's brought me some of the most enjoyable nights of boxing since I've been a fan. You know, I've really enjoyed him.
2 Dylan White fights were his best nights, weren't they?
It was great. Win or lose, he always brings you something. But I just think, it'd be nice for him to just call it a day. You know what I mean? He's had a great career and he's done really well, and he's made a lot of money for actually not being, the best. Yeah, he sort of made a good career of losing, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean?
I think he's 15 losses, 16 losses, something
like
like
that,
that.
is it?
Yeah. He always gets beat when he reaches that top level, doesn't he? Unfortunately, but he always, well, I've seen him not turn up once or twice, but 9 times out of 10, when Chisora's in a fight, he comes to try and win. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you get a good 3 or 4 rounds out of him. Then he's shot to bits, basically.
well, the 2 were White, although they were a long time ago. They were absolute wars, weren't they? Ding dongs, full 12-round ding dongs. But
Yeah. But a 40-year-old Derek Chisora now.
is he 40? Yeah. Is he?
Yeah, he's a 40.
Yeah, there's something about that number, isn't there?
He's a game changer, innit? You know what I mean?
You say about like Chisora, obviously, we were talking about him headbutting that guy. You don't really see much of boxers going crazy outside the ring these days anymore. Like they might.
Well, because they're professionals and it can be like used against you. If you hurt somebody in public, the fact that you're a professional fighter massively goes against you.
Yeah.
They can give you harsher sentences because
Deadly weapon.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
The only other one I've seen is Conor McGregor whacking that old
Yeah,
man.
he's another one that's probably lost millions
Yeah.
and paying people not to take him to court because how he always gets away with it, I don't know.
And he smashed that bus up and all, didn't he? Remember that?
He did, yeah.
Oh yeah, Khabib's
Well, he got
bus.
arrested in America, didn't he?
Yeah,
he got
yeah.
arrested for all that.
Mike Tyson was the king of it. He used to have full-blown fights in like department stores and that.
Yeah,
Like-
nut job.
Yeah, there's that one. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen it. Really weird when Mike Tyson does like stand-up comedy. Have you ever seen that before?
No.
Honestly, it's brilliant. It must be scripted, or there must be someone in his ear. I don't know.
Was it like a roast or something?
Mike Tyson stands on stage like he's a stand-up comedian and tells funny stories from his life, exactly like a stand-up comic. When I first heard about it, I was like, no. I watched it. It's hilarious, and he gives you this fight. I think it was with Mitch Green. I think that's who it was. Mitch Green, this guy with like a big Jerry curl perm.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He knocked him out outside.
Yeah, they had wars, but he tells a story about Mitch Green.
Wasn't he a drug dealer, that Mitch Green?
Yeah, he was like
bad man, Ronnie, street
bad
guy.
man.
Yeah.
Street guy. But yeah, anybody that's never watched it, look for like the Mike Tyson stand-up thing. Try and find it. It's on YouTube.
Is that just like personal appearance thing where it's a night with Mike Tyson?
Basically, yeah.
And he just
What's
tells
it
you
called?
stories.
Mike Tyson's stand-up thing.
Undisputed Truth. Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
I don't know. He's on a stage. Yeah, Undisputed Truth official trailer. It is. I'm gonna watch this. Bear with me 2 seconds. Let me find this out because it is worth it. You need anybody like people who are watching this. It's worth a watch, and this is it. Yeah, it's called Mike Tyson Undisputed Truth. It's HBO thing, and he stands on stage and he's telling the story.
He's got his own podcast as well, doesn't he? But
Hot boxing,
Yeah, that's good. But I didn't know he did stand up as well.
Well, it's not really.
That'll be a night with Mike Tyson type stuff where you come, you sit down, and Mike Tyson tells you stories, and he will have loads of hilarious stories to tell, won't he? He's had
course
some
he will.
life, Mike Tyson.
Yeah. And it's good when you can make fun of like yourself as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's at that stage in life now where he can see the funny
He
side.
seems like he's a piece, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Tyson.
yeah.
Have you ever seen that one where he's talking to some like proper news interviewer about the death of his daughter, and he stops him and he's like, "You have to go. You understand, right?" And the interviewer's like, "It was the most chilling moment of my entire life. I was out of there instantly."
Who was saying what to who?
They were talking about the death of his daughter.
Whose daughter?
Mike Tyson's.
Did his daughter die?
Oh, yeah,
Didn't know
tragically,
that.
mate. Horrendously. She got caught in a treadmill. Like a little girl
What?
got caught in a treadmill and it killed her. And oh my God, mate. Horrendous. Anyway, they're talking about it. And then Tyson's like, "I just freaked out. I had to do loads of cocaine. That's what I did. I just went on a bender and got loads of cocaine." Then he stopped and thought, and he went, "You have to go." Like he's about to break into tears and "You have to go." Fucking scary, mate. Tyson's like one of the most on edge, like go from being sound and happy just to being an absolute maniac like that. Like fucking hell.
In his day, didn't he? You know?
This is recent, this interview.
Really?
Yeah, this is like recent, very recent.
So this is like grey beard Mike Tyson?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Gosh.
Because this didn't happen that long ago, his daughter. Probably, maybe no more than a decade ago.
Huh. Didn't know that. Oh, God bless her. That's awful.
Yeah, like fucking hell, can you imagine? Poor bastard.
Yeah, it doesn't even bear thinking about, does it?
Yeah, 2009, 4-year-old daughter passed away. Tragic accident on a home treadmill.
Yeah,
Awful.
awful, mate.
Literally awful. Yeah.
How does that even happen? Like,
I don't even want
Treadmill's
to.
on and kid gets caught in that and dragged underneath it. Game over, isn't it?
yes, like a nearly upset Mike Tyson saying, "You have to go." That is
mate,
probably
just-
one
just
of the most
put
scary.
Mike Tyson, you have to go into YouTube and you'll see it. It's like
Wow.
the reporter says, it's literally the most scared I've ever been in my entire life.
It's time to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bless him. I had although we look at him, he's a superstar, he's made millions, his life's been hard, like
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
much harder than ours. Just because he made it and got all the way at the top,
you ever
his life compared to ours, like,
do his
no
audio book?
comparison.
Have you done the audio book?
no.
I think he reads it.
Does he?
Yeah, and he talks about everything. He talks about, from Brownsville when he was a kid,
Yeah.
growing up, and all the things that happened to him and what his parents were like, and
Well,
obviously
one was a druggie and one was a prostitute or something like that, or a
Yes.
pimp. And
chaos,
Yeah.
absolute chaos. That's what it sounds like. Like you just couldn't. Yeah, chaos. And obviously the bit before he was like a tough guy, like when he was scared of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He tells you about that bit, and then how
Yeah.
he became the tough guy and how he became the bully, and the people that helped him. He ended up in Borstal, and
he used to cry before all of his fights, didn't he?
he
Shitting himself, dead nervous. Yeah, yeah.
No
He used to
way.
cry before every fight, full of nerves. Back when he was a kid and an amateur, I've heard him telling those stories, and I've heard Teddy Atlas telling those stories as well, because Teddy's got a bit of beef with him, hasn't he?
yeah.
Teddy Atlas says, "I consider Mike Tyson's record to be 0 wins and 5 losses, because everyone he's beat, there was no resistance, and if there's no resistance, it's not a fight, so he's never actually won a fight." That's how deep his hatred of Mike Tyson goes. Deny his entire career.
He had some good fights, Tyson, didn't he? He had a lot of easy ones, but he had some good
I think
ones.
his resume is inflated, and it's made more of than what it actually is, because all of his top quality opposition really got beat.
Did he?
Yeah.
But that was later in life, right?
In the 90s. I mean, the only top guy he fought in the 80s was that who was the heavyweight with a long jab they always go on about. He had the best jab. Oh, what's his name?
Heavyweight with a long jab.
Yeah, the heavyweight that
Oh, Riddick. No,
he was considered to have the best jab. Go through his resume and look at between
is it Bone Crusher
Larry
Smith?
Holmes
Oh,
is the
Larry
one I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Holmes.
Larry Holmes is probably his best opposition, but Larry Holmes had been out the ring for 2 years and was in his 40s, I think,
Yeah,
or late 30s.
I've seen that fight. It's not even. It's like a no contest.
So who's who's Tyson's best win? Go through it. Who is his best win? It's probably
Lennox.
didn't beat Lennox Lewis. Mate.
Oh, I
Got beat
didn't.
off
Yeah.
him.
he beat. Oh no, he never beat Holyfield neither.
Nah, got beat off Holyfield. It's hard to think of his best win because there isn't that many that stand out.
But
You've
it's the way in which he dispatched of these, middle of the road type fighters.
But you know that they're less than middle of the road, mate. Because if you go back to his early career, Coatsy, you'll see that he's fighting every week. He's fighting
Well,
May the 1st, May the 8th, May the 15th. He knocked out about 15 fights in 6 months.
Franz Botha?
Franz Botha.
Is he a big lad or
Middle
a
of the-
decent record?
Middle of the road, mate.
He beat
Francois
Bone
Botha.
Crusher Smith, didn't he?
He did. He beat Ruddock.
Evander Holyfield?
Lost to him, didn't he?
He lost to
Twice.
twice Holyfield, yeah. Well, I think one was a disqualification, wasn't it?
That was that ear biting incident, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen the first one, but did he get beat like straight up, just a straight win?
Yeah.
Points, was it?
It went to points.
Yeah.
I think he got knocked on his arse, didn't he?
Did he?
Maybe in the first couple of rounds.
About Brian Nielsen. Nielsen.
Yeah, he's a giant of the game, mate. Never heard of the boy.
Oh.
Tell you what,
He had a
though,
good record, 62 wins, 1 loss.
I'll tell you what though, if you took Mike Tyson in his heyday when he was like 21, when he was winning that title,
Very, very dangerous.
I would pick him against anyone
Would you?
on that day. Yeah, when he the best version Mike Tyson ever was, I'd pick him in any fight with any of these boxers that have ever lived.
I wouldn't.
No,
No. There's people in his resume early doors that go 10 rounds, 12 rounds with him, and he didn't put a dent in him. So I think he's more hyped up than he should be.
Do you
Tyson.
think?
Yeah.
That's a big statement, Chris.
Dangerous back in his day, but I don't think he's the best ever.
No.
I wouldn't put him in the top 10.
Who's the best ever?
Heavyweight,
Lennox.
he's top 3. It's hard to say, mate. It's really hard to say.
Don't have one. You're going to just say Ali, aren't you?
No, I wouldn't say.
I don't think
he's
he
the
was.
best.
I think he'd get beat off a lot of people,
He would.
personally. I think
Yeah.
he's the best character. That's the best
I
person.
mean, if you go on like the land of the giant, everyone wants to look back to the past and say they were better than it is now. They're always better. That people always romanticize the past. Not many people from the past would be able to live with the likes of Anthony Joshua. I'm telling you, mate. I just wish. I'm not going to say fuck you, mate. Honestly, I always thought Joshua was going to turn out to be the best fighter that ever lived. Obviously, he can't do it now because there's too much happened in his career. But as far as attributes go, I would say Joshua has everything to be the best that has ever been. But obviously, he's not. Lennox Lewis is probably the best heavyweight that's ever lived, mate, I would say. But I guarantee you, in the primes, Joshua would give him all kinds of problems.
You think?
Yeah, all the problems, mate.
No, you're wrong, mate. No.
Bruno gave him all the problems, mate.
No.
Yeah, he did. Bruno gave him all kinds of problems, mate. I'm telling you.
Bruno
He
was
eventually
alright.
got the win. Bruno was hiff, mate.
All right.
Bang average. Joshua would absolutely rinse him.
So what we're saying is the best heavyweight.
Joshua was close.
So what we're saying, the best heavyweight
If
of all
Joshua
time.
beats Fury and Usyk, I'll be game to say it.
Right.
I'm putting him down as number 1, best of all time.
And on that note, I think we've heard enough. Listen, this has been People Like Us. This is the end of the episode. Have you got anything to add, anybody?
No, mate.
No?
Brent, you're a pussy, mate.
Yeah. Never mind, Right, so listen, thank you for
You're
that,
very welcome,
Chris.
Daniel.
Anybody that watching, listening, comment below. Tell us who you think would win in fights and who is the best heavyweight of all time. We both think it's Lennox Lewis, right?
Yeah, I'd have to give it to him.
I think so too. Yeah. Well, okay. Listen, everybody watching, thank you for doing so. Keep subscribing and liking and stuff like that, and we'll see you next time.